Hello and welcome everybody to today's stream here on SuperBacaBros channel, Neighborhood RPG, a show where I bring friends and family together to play Dungeons and Dragons. As you can tell, I am super professional and fully prepared. I made the mistake of looking at Phil's face and it totally messed me up, so I won't make that mistake in the future, but welcome everyone. I'm super excited to get back into this game, and everyone's leveled up, so we got that to look forward to. And beyond that, we're just going to get into a bit of paperwork so we can get into this session and get as much time role-playing. But I just want to thank everyone for being here, all the players, even you, Phil, and everyone watching at home. You're amazing. I know it's 9 o'clock on a Tuesday night, so thank you for being here. But first, I just want to quickly mention our audio is Tabletop Audio. It's a browser-based service, absolutely free. Use it for your home game. It's got like the craziest amount of options. Fantasy, sci-fi, modern, all kinds of cool stuff. Tabletop Audio is super easy to use. Check it out. Also, the campaign-specific audio we are using from Travis Savoy. Their Bandcamp is truly amazing because they have Curse of Strahd campaign music, they have Into the Abyss, they have Descent into Avernus, all kinds of D&D specific campaigns, composed music that you can use. Totally check them out. Travis is an awesome dude, and follow their Bandcamp. It would really help Travis out. Besides that, we're using Roll20 to do our combat. Really cool service, not sponsored at all. None of this is sponsored, obviously, but I just want to mention we are using Roll20. The players seem to enjoy it, and it makes my life way easier. And I also get advice from Mab while we're playing because Mab knows what they are doing in Roll20. But besides that, I think that's all we got for our business side of the stream. We're going to go ahead and get into the introduction of the characters, and we're just going to go off of the order on my stream deck because I'm lazy as hell. So, Phil, you're going to go first. Go ahead and introduce your character. Anything you would like to plug? I know you got a really hot smoking Instagram right now that all the kids are talking about, so make sure you plug that. But go ahead, Phil, introduce your character and anything you want the viewers to know about them.
So my character is... I'm Phil. My character is Eldrin Farrell, the half-elf bard, level 4 now. I didn't really think of anything, so I'm just going to read off my little sheet. He is of noble background and is chaotic good. I don't know. Yeah, I feel like there's been less character development with this character than my last one, so I've had a hard time kind of knowing what to say during these. Yeah, I think he was very nervous going to the house. You know, this entire campaign, he's felt very much like he didn't want to do most of the things that they've decided to do. But, you know, he's kind of borrowed some bravery from his companions and very much wants to kind of stay with them, stay by their side. So it's been definitely a bit harrowing for him, this whole thing.
All right. I like the insight on that. And I feel like we definitely have gotten that point of view from Eldrin, especially where he's voiced that a few times, that he's not wanted to do the things that he did. But he did it anyways because friendship.
Stop your bitching. He did it. All
right. Thank you, Phil. We're going to go over to Hannah next. Go ahead, introduce your character. And plug anything you would like to plug. Go ahead, Hannah.
I am playing as Strafaria, and I am a rogue half-elf, and my backstory is that I have amnesia, and I am piecing together my past through dreams and flashbacks and things like that.
Nice. I am super excited to see how all of that works out, and cool dream / flashbacks are like one of my favorite things in D&D. So I'm stoked to see what happens with your character. So thank you.
And I'm also excited to continue our journey with Lorgoth, our kitty.
Ah, that's right. I almost forgot Lorgoth. As you know, thank you so much, Hannah. I want to bring this up just so that everyone knows. I know all of you follow me on Twitter, and you can't get enough of my tweets. But I have officially changed my Twitter handle to Tabaxi Lover, just because I love cats so much. You know, it's just like there's something about cats that I just can't get enough of. So, thank you, Hannah, for reminding me that. Sorry, I'm getting choked up. Anyways, we're gonna go to Cyrus last but not least, and also I put your Instagram, your mushroom Instagram,
Nice.
Hannah, for you. Cyrus, go ahead, introduce your character, plug anything you would like. I will put your link tree in the chat. Go ahead, Cyrus.
Hey, I'm Cyrus. I am playing Bakrog the Stone, fighter, ex-gladiator, shy boy turned. I'm trying to think of he's big on friendship. You know, he was alone a long time. Now he's enjoying adventuring with his friends as much as it's been a little bit of a stressful situation. Where's that right now? We stumbled out of the house and stumbled right into a whole other thing going on. So he's feeling a little topsy-turvy. He tried to go and pull some diplomacy with this witch-looking character, and it didn't work out for him too well. I think he ate a pastry, or at least acquired a pastry. Yeah, so we're just kind of, we just got done with a big dungeon and kind of finding our way into our next adventure, as we're still in this weird town that we don't even it might not even be physically on the same map or plane of existence that we started this whole thing out on, for all he knows. Yeah, and you can find all the stuff I do at that link tree. I stream Magic the Gathering stuff or I do video editing and make content and background stuff over at Mental Misplay. We got a new shirt coming out this Friday for limited time. It's going to be real good. But I'm going to start streaming again on my own channel on Wednesdays, doing video games and Magic cards and whatever I feel like doing.
Hell yeah. I'm super excited for that. And thank you. I have a sneeze working up. It's not there, but it's coming, and it's annoying the shit out of me. But thank you very much, Cyrus. I'm super stoked to see your Wednesday streams. And
yeah, this first week, I believe, is going to be me and my brother and a friend of ours trying to beat Elden Ring.
I was going to say, I got to see that more. End, that is such a fun mod to witness.
Yeah. It's going to be a good time. We're probably just going to get killed several thousands of times in a row. But, that's how it goes.
The beauty of that game. So yeah, with that out of the way, let's go ahead, and I have to give you applause. I feel like you did the previously on better than I could have. But we're going to go ahead and switch over to previously on Neighborhood RPG. So, last we left off, our three adventurers with Lorgoth, the kitty, had just defeated Lorgoth Sr., the shambling mound, inside the Durst Manor, narrowly escaping as the house is falling apart on top of them. They took a bit of damage, actually, as they got out of there. Luckily, they found the secret escape room, ladder, I should say, going up into the main area and narrowly getting out before the building just falls on top of them. As they go out into the Barovian night, panting and catching their breath, they quickly realize that they're not alone, that there's somebody else. A elderly figure who's pushing a small cart has gone to a couple of different houses. They'd seen this person before and has suddenly acquired a young child. And as they're witnessing this person pushing the cart out of town, they decide to investigate. And as they do, Bakrog decides to have a conversation with this person, Morgantha, on the outskirts of Barovia. It doesn't go too well. He does acquire a pastry, doesn't eat it, and decides to give up. Eldrin goes in for a bit of a conversation, and for whatever reason, the long battle, the weird house, so many fireplaces, he just quite can't get his mojo going, and kind of gives up on the conversation as well. And so as Morgantha and this young child are just heading into the woods, the western woods, away from Barovia, they stand there just on the outskirts of town, kind of like, what the hell? And so with that, let's go ahead and switch over to here. People at home, I like to do a little toast. So if you could grab your drink of choice, players that are joining me as well, as I like to say a little toast before I play each game of D&D. So, may your dice roll true, and may you all make it through. Meh.
Meh.
Very nice. I like that the music stopped right at the meh.
That was
That's
perfect.
perfect. And with
Well-
that, shall we play? You gonna say something there, Phil?
Like don't pull back the curtain. Just pretend like that was purposeful. Like you timed it. Purposely,
I can barely get the campaign name down. I think people
Which
get
is
the
why, like, take the take the
take
the
it.
W.
Okay, that was totally intentional. What were you gonna say, Hannah?
I was gonna say I didn't hear the music, but it started just now.
Oh, weird. Because it's over now.
Yeah.
Now I hear it.
Are you listening to your own music?
No, it is dungeony music.
The rest of you hear music?
Nope.
And I didn't hear it when you mentioned it.
Do you smell toast?
Interesting. Huh? I don't know. I'm not playing music right now.
I have creepy music going on.
Oh, are you listening to the stream maybe? No, because you would hear the voices.
No,
I don't know.
yeah,
That's super weird.
my
It literally
headphones.
says not playing music on my thing.
You might need to get out of the house.
Should I log out?
Your house might be haunted. It's actually
You can refresh the Roll20 window. That might be the
Okay.
thing to do.
Oh, okay, cool.
this could be an exorcism situation you got going on. But with that, as the you three adventurers are standing in the outskirts of Barovia, in the middle of night, you are tired. You're definitely ready to either clean up or get some rest. What is it that you would all like to do?
Balkrog will certainly turn to his patriots and be like, I don't think any of us are capable of talking through anything right now. May need to go find some rest and regroup in the morning.
I think I'd have to agree with you. It's one thing for your charisma to let you down, but if I'm not able to put words together enough, then I think we're definitely in need of some rest.
Agreed.
And I don't remember how much we know about the layout of this town. Do we know? I see we have the whole map here now.
Yeah,
which is
you have the whole
sweet.
map. So as you've essentially, after following this person to the outskirts of town, you've traversed the majority of it. And actually, let me just bring it up on the old stream over here. So what you have is, so you guys left over here, essentially, the outer part. I don't know if you could see that little, there a little bit. You were staying at this house at the bottom with Ireena. Oh, that's not showing up well on this. I need to fix this real quick. You need to, if you want to rest and go back to Ireena.
Yeah, so we need to check in with her anyway about the things that have gone down. So,
True.
Should we make our way back to Ireena's?
So where do we be now?
Right now, you're right here, off to the left.
And where's she at?
She's down here at the bottom.
And the haunted house?
No, that's not the haunted house. The haunted house
No.
was up here.
See, we made quite a trek trying to get those pastries.
Oh yeah, you followed her for a minute. You came down this main street because she actually didn't acquire the child until about middle of the town.
I see.
So you're already heading back toward Ireena. So you're doing a bit of a walk and talk, if you will.
We're doing Sorkin.
Yeah, you got to keep it. Got to keep it fresh. So yeah, do you all want to head back into town and go
Find Ireena.
find Ireena's and Ismark?
Yes.
We can regale her with stories of our time in the haunted house. I'm tired. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're
long
definitely
day.
tired. And real quick, Chaotrix100, thank you so much for the follow. Super appreciate it. Super awesome. Thank you. You are now part of the SuperBacaBros family. Yeah, if you guys want to, and I totally understand, you kind of retrace your steps heading back into the heart of town, where you see the Blood on the Vine Tavern, and heading south toward the large manor of the Burgomaster, where Ireena is staying with her brother Ismark. As you walk up to the house, you see the kind of telltale signs of Strahd's minions have been, harassing the house. Scratches on the walls. The lawn is trampled horribly. Footsteps all over the place. One of you, whoever you'd like, knocks on the door, I would imagine. Unless you just want to walk in. If that's the case, let me know.
I'll do a big old strength +5 knock on the door. Use my new level.
Knock on the door. It takes a moment as the night it's full darkness. The moon is up in the sky, and this is the first time that since you've been in Barovia, the clouds aren't oppressing you. Even during the day, there's full cloud coverage where you can't see the sun, obviously, and there's no clouds whatsoever. The moon is like full, bright in the night sky. After a moment, a wolf howls in the distance. You see the door kind of like barely open up a little bit, and Ismark, Ireena's brother, is there. Hello? Who is there?
It is us, the brave adventurers.
He opens it up very quickly. Please, come in, quickly. Allows you all to walk in. As you come into the house, you see it's still in, not the greatest of shape. Dust is everywhere, and the smell from the Burgomaster's dead body is still lingering there. It's only been 12 hours or so. Ismark kind of looks at all of you and just quickly says, "You all must be very tired. Before you go to bed, quickly, could you just tell me what happened? Did you find Gertruda?"
Fortunately, we did not, but a lot of other stuff happened.
I understand. I think that is a talk for the morning then, no?
Yes, we'll give you all the details in the morning.
See. Well, you know where your rooms are. Please go rest. I'll see you all in the morning. I'll have a breakfast ready for you.
It's
Thank
much
you.
appreciated.
Yeah, thank you.
And as you all head upstairs, the second story, you find your rooms. You try to, get settled in and get rest. You take your equipment off and get comfortable. As you go to sleep and you're laying there thinking about the events that just happened, Strafaria, could you roll me a wisdom saving throw, please?
Ooh, it's not good. 5.
So, Eldrin, Bakrog, you have yourself a relatively peaceful night's sleep. You get a full rest. And Strafaria, you do as well. You get a full rest, so you're fully healed. Any features, abilities, any of that, all of that comes back. But as you wake up in the morning, Strafaria, you look down at your hands. You feel a little like uncomfortable, and as you look down in your hands, you find in one of them the small metal key. And in the other hand, you find the 3.5 inch by 2 inch wooden box. And they're not touching each other, but they're just there in your hands. You have no idea how that happened. But something tells you, as you like think back to your dreams that you had with your former master who taught you many things, you don't know who he is, that there was something in that dream that told you that maybe your answers of your past would come if you were to open this box. That all of that's like flooding into your brain as you wake up. So, the three of you wake up, you get yourself dressed, grab your equipment. I'm assuming you head downstairs?
Yes.
Anybody want to do anything prior to that?
I don't think so. I'll just leave my ring on paralyze mode.
Good call. Good call. And for that bit of business, Eldrin, your spell save DC has gone back to its original number. It is not boosted by your chalice.
I know.
Fuck you. So as you all kind of come downstairs, you smell smells like a decent breakfast. There's some biscuits and gravy. Coffee is on the table. What looks like some sort of salmonberry fruit. And Ireena and Ismark are sitting at the table, both kind of nursing a cup of coffee, or I should say a cup of coffee for Ireena and a cup of tea for Ismark. As they see you three coming in whatever order to the main dining room, Ireena greets you all. It's good to see you're all up and about. Glad that you made it back out of that house. Is everything okay? You all kind of look like you have a shook look on your face. What happened in there?
It was quite intense.
Yeah, I got to be honest. It's not the best mattress I've ever slept on, but I do appreciate the accommodations.
You're welcome. Yeah, I've never really enjoyed it either. Did you find Gertruda? Ismark said that you didn't find her or something else happened?
Yeah. That is true. We did not find her. We did look throughout the entire house. I felt as though we were very thorough with that. And we did run into numerous beings of different forms. So again, we were thorough, but unfortunately we did not find her.
You know about where she might be? Have you found any clues pertaining to that at all?
I don't think so. We didn't.
I'm looking through my notes.
I'm trying to remember. It was a heroin. It was
it's definitely a tough one because of where it happened.
Night.
But go ahead and if anyone wants to roll a history check with advantage, considering how it all played out.
My history advantage is 1, so if somebody has higher than that.
Mine's -1.
Oh God.
Oh, I'm good.
I got a 9. That's my highest history roll.
22.
You're remembering as Ireena is asking you about this that Sefaria found the journal of Elizabeth that actually mirrored very much. I almost said Fred Durst, but Gustav Durst's journal. But at the end of it, Elizabeth alluded to that they gave Gertruda to Strahd as a tribute. And that she went willingly because of her abuse that her physical abuse she received from her father.
Damn, that feels like that was forever ago.
I know.
We were in that
I had
house.
to go 10 pages.
I think we were in the
back.
house for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, this is a fucking house for sure.
Well, I'm the only one that doesn't remember this, so I'll let someone else regale the story.
Do you remember anything, Strafaria, about is it Gertrude?
Gertruda.
Gertruda. I remember something about the journal. Not all of it.
Yes, yes. I think you're jogging my memory now. I believe it said that she actually went of her own free will to Strahd. Something about going with him was preferential to the abuse that she was receiving from her father.
And Ismark kind of nods his head very slowly. That does make sense. I'm not surprised, to be honest with you. What of Gustav and Elizabeth and their children? Did you encounter them at all?
Yes. Yes, we did. The children actually were the ones who lured us into the house. We learned that it was actually their parents who killed them on behalf of whatever creepy entity it was that had taken control over their thoughts. And we actually brought solace to their child's souls and defeated their parents.
Ismark kind of quickly nods and says, well, I thank you for bringing them some sort of peace in the afterlife, but sorry to hear that they have perished.
It's a very sad house.
Seems so, yes. Well, and he turns to Ireena and says, well, now, are you happy now? Will you be able to leave with these people for Vallaki, for safety? Now that they've figured out that Gertruda is not in fact here in Barovia. And Ireena kind of nods her head and says, yeah, I'll go now. You need to take care of this village because there's more going on than just one sad, decrepit house. So please, keep your eyes open. They both look at each other and embrace each other with like a clasp, a forearm clasp. I will, sister. And now he turns to the rest of you. How long before you would want to go?
Oh, I'd be happy to leave this town as soon as they're ready.
I'm
is that
well
an option this
rested.
entire time?
Good. I think if you were to travel during the day, that would be better than at night. And Ireena kind of pipes in. Yeah, I wanted to talk to you all about that. There's lots of creatures and monsters in the surrounding area of the Valley of Barovia. But there's also monsters in the towns themselves. So if we come across any of those people, I'll try to give you a heads up. But once we get to Vallaki, let's kind of keep our head on a swivel.
Yeah, actually, we kind of curious about something. Backrog and I ran into something that we couldn't quite figure out. There was I don't know what is correct term to use. Elderly, a lady, I guess. She was walking around a town last night after we exited the mansion. With some pretty average-looking pastries, but she seemed to kidnap a young child, and the child went with her of seemingly brainwashed out of town.
Ismark first talks. You must be speaking of Morgantha. She is... We're not sure what she is, but she's definitely not to be trifled with. She lives west of the village, and apparently is someone that has some sort of arcane abilities. If you talked to her, did you get a pastry from her?
We did. We have 4 of them, technically.
Ireena interrupts you. Throw that away. Get rid of that. Don't touch that.
They didn't look very good anyway.
I don't think they made them back to this house.
There's something wrong with them. Any person that eats them feels this euphoria, and then shortly after is this like hunger for more, and it can't be satiated. It's not good, whatever it is, so don't eat them.
Oh, we should, if we can, we might want to find them on our way out. Make sure no one else finds them and eats them.
Good point. If I know you 3 aren't from Barovia, and you're probably looking for answers to how you got here and how you can leave. Besides Strahd himself, I do know that the Vallaki have the capability of leaving through the mists of Barovia, and that their leader, Madame Eva, would be someone you might want to talk to. And as she says, Madame Eva, all 3 of you who've never had this conversation with each other instantly flash back to the dream that you had our first session, where Madame Eva is talking to a unseen, disembodied voice. And it kind of freaks you out because you didn't speak that name to anyone else. Same as when the Vistani were talking to you and they said Madame Eva. She looks kind of to your faces because they show a brief moment of like recognition. I wouldn't trust Madame Eva fully. Definitely not the Vistani that she leads. They're mainly tricksters and like to mess with the outsiders that they bring into the area. But if you're to get on her good side and you could trust what she says, you might be able to get some information from her. And we will be passing, potentially, if we go a certain way, her encampment by the river.
Is there a certain way that is most effective in trying to win her favor?
The best way is by doing her a favor. And typically, you don't like the favors that you have to do for her, from what it sounds like from other outsiders. But that just really depends on her mood and the time of day, from what it sounds like. But she knows a lot. She's been around and looks at Ismark longer than I can remember, and he's like, yes, she's a staple of this valley, for sure. But I caution you going to see there, for she definitely has ties to Strahd. So be aware.
Seems we might need to get closer to Strahd anyway if we're going to continue to help with Gertruda.
That is a good point, Bakro. Now, is there any questions you have for me before you go, or would you like to get out of town? We do have one item shop here in the village, but he is not... He's not cheap. And honestly, I think he's a spy for Strahd, to be fair.
Pretty well stocked. I wonder if we should be trying to find... What was the name of the pastry witch?
Morgantha.
Morgantha. I wonder if finding her first, or finding this Madame Eva, which would be more beneficial to our overall goals.
Well, Madame Eva would definitely be for your own personal goals. Morgantha, if you want to save whatever child that was, I don't think it would be an easy thing to do, if I'm being honest with you. Morgantha is seemingly a powerful being, but I wouldn't know exactly.
Sounds like we need to go find Madame Eva. What do you guys think?
I like that. I also wouldn't mind maybe stopping by the item shop.
Okay.
We'll see what they've got.
Yeah. Mr. Moneybags.
That is up to
Cool.
you. If you'd like to do that and then head out of town, I understand. Ireena, take care of yourself. You too, brother. They hug each other. She pulls up like a bag that she has and slings it over her shoulder. We all ready?
Yep.
Get going.
Okay. Let's get out of here. You heading north away from the Burgermaster's mansion to the one place you haven't really gone to in this in this town, and it's opposite of the Blood on the Vine Tavern. It's this large building. There's like a sparse light from the building, kind of spills out from like really thick, dark, dirty curtains. And you see a sign over the door that says Bildrath's Mercantile. Do you all enter?
Yep.
Okay.
I'll go in.
As you go in, you see what looks like all kinds of gear, different kind of adventuring gear, mess kits or pittons, all kinds of stuff that you might need to go on an adventure. Nothing too spectacular. There's a maybe one potion of healing. But as you kind of look around, you see a balding older gentleman who is just like, he's like a dirty apron on, and as he comes around, he just like gives you this sneer, this sort of smile that puts all of you kind of unease as you see it. Well, welcome to Bildrath's Mercantile. How can I help you?
Well, we're heading out on an adventure. Thought we might supply up before we do so. As I was looking at your potions, you don't seem to have a whole lot.
This is true, but we're the only potion holder this side of Barovia. So unless you want to go to Kretsk, you're not going to find one any closer.
What price is it for your potion of healing?
For you, let me think. And he kind of looks you up and down. That's going to be 500 gold.
Well, I strive to be the kind of person who can afford that amount of money for a potion of healing. So for now, I will just have to, wish for such things.
I figured you wouldn't have the money for it. It's only for the finer people around here. But if there's anything else you might need, let me know. I run a fair bargain. And he chuckles a little bit to himself. Are you all from this area? I don't think I've ever seen you before.
Do you get out much?
No, but my nephew does. And you see from behind him this like large, young, what is essentially a teenage boy, but is a full-grown man-size human, walks out. He's just like full of muscles. He's not as big as Backrog, but he's a big guy. My nephew Perrywhipple here, he goes out for me to find all kinds of different things to sell. And I could tell by your look that you're probably not from around here. Anything I could help you with besides my items?
Well, it's rather presumptive, but you are right. What do you know about strange goings-on around here?
Well, the old Durst Manor has been locked up for quite a long time. No one's seen them for, I don't know, a couple of weeks, I think. Besides that, I think that lumberjack's daughter, Gertruda, is missing. There's that lady, Morganta, who's selling those god-awful pastries. I had one. It was pretty good for a brief moment, but I couldn't go for another.
Interesting.
Oh yeah,
Someone
the wolves stalk the humans at night. You leave the village. Stuff like that.
Someone who noticed our relative new coming to this area. You don't seem to know much that we don't know.
He kind of looks at you sideways. What do you mean?
I just kind of shrug.
Interesting. What about you, elf girl? Anything you need? And he looks over at you, Stefaria.
I think I'm good. No, thank you.
Okay. Well, that's good. And if you all don't need anything, we don't abide by loitering. So please leave.
Well, before we go, I thought I might just kind of pick your brain a bit. I was mostly interested in your potions of healing, but I'm curious if you have anything special. Anything that, again, such as us, being adventurers and all, that may be especially beneficial for us out on our adventure.
I got some holy water. Just recent.
Recent?
Very recent holy water.
You don't want
Meaning
the
you
expired
got it
stuff.
recently?
What was that?
It was blessed
You-
recently.
You recently
Very.
acquired it? It was
I
created
acquired it and
recently?
it was blessed. It's fresh. It's the good stuff. You don't want this stale holy water that's been sitting around on a priest's shelf.
Mhm.
It gets dull. It's not potent. This stuff was just recently blessed, but a day ago.
Oh, did you bless it yourself?
Funny. You're real funny.
That's
No.
funny you say that.
No, actually, I didn't bless it myself. But that's probably the most special thing I got.
How much are you asking for it?
And he kind of narrows his eyes as he looks at you. He gives a little smile. 50 gold.
Oof.
Too rich for your blood, huh? I understand.
If you think that it'll be useful on our adventure, I'll throw down like 15 gold.
I have literally nothing.
Wait, what happened to your money, Bakra? Oh no, your stuff, that's right.
I spent it all on this sweet armor.
Right?
No regrets.
No regrets.
Well, as we established, I am but a simple man, but if my friend here is willing to put in some, I think I can make up the difference.
Really?
Hey,
I
you
said
can't- you can-
50 gold. 50.
That is correct.
Okay. He turns around and grabs this like bottle that has this almost like blue shine inside of it, the liquid itself, and he sets it down, not directly in front of you, but on the counter. That's 50 gold.
No, that's holy water. This is 50 gold.
You're funny. You're real funny. You must be a comedian where you come from.
Yeah, you're actually sounding more insightful than you seem, but yeah.
What? Here's the holy water, and he takes the 50 gold. He's like kind of frustrated at this moment. You feel like not many people actually buy from his shop, and the fact that you're actually buying from him is kind of putting him a little off right now. All right, I gotta lock up for lunch. Get out of here.
Well, thank you for your help.
You're welcome. Thank you for your business.
It sounded like you were saying that sarcastically, as if. you
Oh,
didn't just-
no, not me. But seriously, get out. I gotta go eat.
Well, enjoy your meal.
Thank you. Let's go, Periwimple. Turns to his nephew. Ireena, who's been in the back this whole time, just trying to stay away from this conversation completely, greets you all as you like head out of the shop. I really don't like that guy.
Fair.
I typically consider myself somewhat of a friendly giant, but that guy sucked.
Agreed, Buckrog. Agreed. All right. Well, should we get out of here?
Let's continue on.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. You all start to head southwest out of town. As you do, you find yourself walking out into the main forest area, and as you leave Barovia, you see the morning sky is at that full gray overcast. It's not raining right now, but there's no area where you see the sun fully shining through. It like perfectly covers the whole valley of Barovia itself. It's very cold, and as you are talking to each other, you can see your breath coming out of your mouths. You start to head out of the village and start your journey southwest away from Barovia. As you do, just back this up over here. You after like 20 minutes or so, you get to you hear it before you see it, but this like large running of water, like a decent sized river, and there's this fairly immaculate looking bridge that covers it. As you approach it, the other side of the bridge has the true beginning, what looks like the actual forest. This area around Barovia is kind of like low grass, sparse trees. But on the other side of the bridge is where like the forest really starts to kick in. You cross the bridge. Ireena the whole time talking about growing up in the valley, how hard it was, to kind of make it day to day, with the wolf attacks and sudden like raven appearances, like a was it murder? No, it's murder crows. God, I should have looked that up. Damn it. But a whole shit ton of ravens just randomly
that's it.
appearing, and it really throwing people off.
It's a massacre of ravens.
Thank you. I'm looking it up right now. Massacre of ravens. You get further and further into the forest. The trees almost right on top of each other. Very similar to when you first got into Barovia. You could barely see, 6 feet deep as you look into the forest, but you're still on this dirt road. As you continue on, I would like somebody to roll me a d20.
Who's got it? Want me to do it? I don't see anyone else rolling. I'm gonna roll it. I'm
All right,
doing
do
it. There it goes.
I just had a bad roll earlier, so I don't want to.
Oh shit, Faded in the chat. Didn't even see that. What's up, Faded?
Well, I rolled a 5, so
Okay.
Ah.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Damn it.
So yeah, as you continue through the day and you're getting closer and closer to like the outskirts of the forest, you come across what looks like a split in the road, and there's a like a road sign, if you will, but there's this small gallows right next to the actual road sign itself. Sorry, my thing is acting weird. As you come up to the split in the road, Ireena kind of is looking around. I'm not quite sure which way we should go. Let's see. She's like trying to read the sign. And as you get up to this old wooden gallows, you feel this like chill, this wind that blows down from the high ground where you just came from. And there's a like a frayed length of rope that like dances on this beam from the gallows itself. And the signpost, the road sign itself says Barovia Village East, where you just came from, Sir Pool to the northwest, and then Ravenloft / Vallaki to the southwest. And then the northwest fork slants down and disappears into the trees, while the southwest fork kind of clings upward to the slope. And then just a little away from this road sign, you see partially enclosed in like a small is a small plot of graves shrouded in fog.
Well, it would see we have no shortage of options. Does anyone have any idea which one of these we should take?
Ireena quickly says, I know last we heard, Madame Eva was at the Sir Pool, which is along the river that we just crossed down northwest. We could bypass that, though, and probably have a bit of a safer route and go the southwest area that heads straight to Vallaki or Castle Ravenloft, which I don't think we should go to Castle Ravenloft, if I'm being honest with you. At least me, not me. She kind of laughs at her own attempt at a joke.
I'm going to look over to these guys and say, well, I don't know about you guys, but after our adventure in the manor, I'm thinking the safest route.
Are there any drawbacks to the safer route? Like it takes longer, or is anything potentially troubling about it?
Are you asking the DM or are you asking Ireena?
I am clearly in my.
Oh, that's your Eldrin voice. My bad. You know what?
Slightly different from my
Slightly different.
actual
Fair
voice.
enough. That's fair enough. Ireena kind of looks up as she thinks, well, depending on what happens with Madame Eva, that could take a long time or it could completely stop us from our journey. But it is a shorter distance from here to Vallaki. But it does go through a decent amount of the forest. The southwest route is a higher elevation. It takes a little bit longer. And there's still potential of danger, but probably not as much. So, just depends.
But if we go southwest, we won't be meeting with Eva. Is that correct?
Correct.
Well,
Yeah.
we need to head to Madame Eva.
I feel like we should at least consult with her since we're this close already.
Yes.
But Madame Eva doesn't necessarily get us any closer to solving the mystery with Gartruda, right? That's where we're at. My -1
yes.
intelligence is making it hard to keep all of this straight.
I think honestly, Ireena starts talking. I think Madame Eva is more for you guys and figuring out your situation. I think Gertruda is probably a Strahd thing. She may know something about that, but I don't know if she's willing to give that information away to you.
Okay.
That's just my thought.
Perhaps we're not ready to meet with Madame Eva and figure out our way out of here yet, since we've gotten ourselves all tangled up with the local problems.
Yes, yes. We are heroes.
Indeed.
So which way are we going then?
Well, I do agree that it'd be good for us to meet with Madame Eva. Did you say there were 2 routes and one was more safe than the other?
Potentially, yeah. I would say the away from Madame Eva would be the safer route. But it's also the longer one.
Oh, so we have 2 options. One doesn't take us to her at all, and the other does.
Correct. And one is longer, that doesn't take you to her at all. The other one's shorter, that does take you to her and potentially is more dangerous. So, I mean, one might say, depends on the roll of a dice.
Mm.
Well, we got 3 of us. That gives us the potential for a simple majority. I say
I don't get to vote?
Well,
Am I not? Is this a woman thing? Where you're
more
from,
even.
Eldrin? That I don't get to vote because I'm a woman?
I'd like to think of you as presiding over this exchange. So you guide us into the right path, hopefully. And if there was a tie between the 3 of us, you could be the tiebreaker.
Roll a persuasion check. I want to say with disadvantage, but that was actually a pretty good comeback.
I am hella persuasive too.
I'm hella persuasive.
28.
Oh, okay. You see Ireena like lighten up as you finish what you're saying. Sorry, I'm just a little touchy as we're traveling closer and closer to the man that wants to either eat me or marry me, and I can't decide which, so it's a little confusing.
As someone who's been married, I say there's not much of a difference between the 2.
You've been married before, really? I honestly don't see that in you.
She didn't either.
Ouch.
It happens.
All right. Well, what do you three think then?
Oh, Balrog's quite unsure.
I say we
tiebreaker, just like
meet
with the cat
Madame Eva.
situation. I feel like it does make sense to go touch base with Madame Eva and see if there's anything she needs us to do that maybe we'll be able to do while we're dealing with other things.
I feel like Ireena hinted to us that we should do it after.
Is that Madam head of our little tribe? Would you agree with that?
No, I'm just laying out the possibilities that, you know, we all should think about. Whether you want to see her now, just be prepared for weirdness and potentially who knows what. Or we could bypass that. You know, or we could bypass that and just try to head to Vallaki, where I'm supposedly going to be safe.
Let's head.
That's all I'm saying.
Let's head there.
And in doing so, would we still have an opportunity at a later time to meet with Madame Eva?
I mean, I'm sure doesn't seem like the three of you are really going anywhere anytime soon from the Valley of Barovia. But I do think getting me somewhere safe would be a good idea, considering that Strahd is very much trying to get me. If I'm being honest, I know I look brave, but as soon as we left the gates of Barovia, I'm feeling a little exposed out here. Being completely upfront with the three of you. I haven't done this in a long time. I haven't left Barovia in years. And now that I'm out here and I'm at these literal crossroads of my life, it makes me feel a little scared. And there's also graves over here. Why is there just graves right here? It's really not the greatest planning.
Well, if you think about it, no one ever wants graves near their home. Doesn't help with property values, so makes sense for it to be out here.
Honestly, Eldrin, I can kind of see why your wife probably thought that. You weren't marriage material.
Seemed needless. And
I'm just saying, you know, people have their family graves near them. That's what they would want their family. Seemed a little cold. That's all I'm saying.
That seemed a bit out of character for you, so.
You don't know me. We don't know each other.
As if there was something else guiding your thoughts.
You know, I'm just riffing off of what you've already laid down.
All right, you two.
So all in favor of getting rid of her. Agreed.
No, Eldrin.
I see how it is.
For safety.
It's because I'm a woman thing.
Safety.
How are you?
You know, I thought there was some chemistry between us when we first met, but I can see now that was just tiredness in general.
It was too long ago. Eldrin can't remember the first time we met you. I guarantee it. He means nothing by it.
So we're gonna bypass Madame Eva, it sounds like?
It appears so.
That's my vote.
I think sure. Let's get this one out of harm's way. And do we have a map or something we can mark this on so that we will remember how to get back to Madame Eva once it is time for us to take our leave of this place?
I don't have a map personally, but I know Vallaki does. There's a map maker there that we could probably, you know, acquire one, and I'd be more than willing to pay for it, to be honest with you, because I feel like you are all doing me a solid, and I feel bad now thinking about what I said to you, Eldrin, because you are a stand-up guy, and I'm just really stressed out about everything. This is not my normal sort of, you know, foray into the wild, if you will. So I apologize.
We've all been there.
I think we're all a little stressed out. It's understandable.
Does anyone feel like they could? I mean, I guess we probably none of us have supplies for like a makeshift map. Thinking back on what we've got. All right, we'll just have to remember how to get back here. An obvious strong point of mine.
All right. So we're gonna go southwest.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. As you all start walking the upward slope away from the gallows and the crossroads where the graves are, Strafaria, you hear a creaking noise behind you coming from the gallows. And you turn around back to this noise, and where there was nothing before now hangs this like lifeless gray body. The breeze turns the hanging body slowly towards you so that it can fix its dead eyes upon you.
Okay. I'm gonna scream, a shrill scream.
Okay, as you do this, even more so, the face, the eyes that are looking at you is you.
Oh boy. I scream louder.
The rest of you and Ireena, you hear this, and she's like, what's going on? What is happening? We can go to Madame Eva if you want, Strafaria. Jeez. Why are you screaming?
What is wrong?
I'm in
Where's that
shock.
chicken?
I just saw a dead body, and when I looked in its eyes, it was me.
Dead body? Where'd you see a dead body?
Right here.
Are you talking about yourself? Are you...
I saw it. I looked in the eyes, and it was me.
That is so weird. Is it gone now?
I believe so.
You
I
look
don't see it.
back at the... where the gallows is, and there's nobody there at all. Maybe we should have Bakrog up front, and I'll keep an eye on Strafaria.
Thank you.
She kind of hooks her arm in between your, through your arm. She's like, don't worry about it. It's going to be okay. Barovia is just a weird place. As you continue southwest up the hill, I would like you all to give me perception checks, please.
16.
Yeah.
Oh, no. 6.
Okay.
5.
I'm going to go off of your passive perception, which is a 17, since you have that feat of observant anyways. Just seeing if you had something even better than that. So as you're walking, and you walk for a couple of hours or so, going what seems like a upward mountain pass. The trees themselves, they're not as dense. But as you gather, it's like around noon. You can see the sun through the thick dark gray clouds is like right up above you. Bakrog and Strafaria, you feel like at times as you've continued walking, you've heard like a twig break or like a rustle of leaves, like something is close by or following you this whole time. Ireena, who's like
Does
talking.
anyone else hear it?
Just the two of you hear that. Ireena is talking about the first time that she had tasted her first, wine at a young age of 12. She was like, I snuck into the burgomaster's room and stole the wine, and I know I shouldn't have done it, but it's just so boring. It felt like. Little did I know that a literal undead man would try to kill me years later, but it's pretty thrilling.
I'll try to look over at Strafaria when I hear something, see her, just kind of look at everyone and see if it looks like anyone else has noticed the sound.
I'm gonna say I hear it too, Bakrog. What about you, Eldrin?
How close am I to this lady that we're with?
You're like maybe 5 or 6 feet away.
We'll try to kind of talk quietly, kind of like maybe put kind of hand between me and my mouth and her. Yeah, I heard. I mean, it wasn't the most exciting story, but I've heard worse, I guess.
You know, Eldrin, I like you. Why? I don't know, but I like you.
I'm a bit like a fungus. I tend to grow on people.
That a Strafaria joke?
No, it was a Hannah joke.
Well, if you knew your fungi.
Strafaria is a fungi.
Gotcha. Ireena is like, we got you, Eldrin. Nerd.
I'm just over here being stressed out about that sound we heard the whole time.
We're about to high-five at each other. Hot dog's freaking out.
Yeah, there's everyone's just kind of like riffing off of each other, and Bakrog's having like a freaking mini heart attack.
We may be being watched or followed.
What?
I swear I heard a was it a twig breaking?
Irene and I heard it too.
I did? I heard that?
I don't think Ireena heard it.
Sorry,
No, I didn't hear anything. I was talking about wine and stuff. And she's like now freaking out. You can see her chest is like rising up and going down like quickly. She's breathing. Where's it at? Shut up, everyone. Be quiet. Where's it at? Is anyone going to answer? Does anyone know where this noise is coming from?
Did I get a read on where it was coming from?
You got it from behind and from in front of you in the trees.
In the trees. Could be all around.
What?
That's not good. Let's keep
Could you be less helpful?
let's keep just keep an eye open as we continue.
What would be in the trees?
You asking me?
I mean, you're the one who knows this area.
I haven't left Barovia in years.
Girl, you gotta get out.
That's what I'm doing. Listen, I don't know what's out here. I know wolves are dangerous. I hear that there's like tree people and like wild hill.
Definitely.
Okay, stop.
Wild
Right there.
hillbilly
Nailed it.
druids.
Are
Three
they
people, you say?
are the druids the tree people that you're referring to?
It could be any of them. It could be actual human druid people, or it could be actual trees that are people.
Bakrog's gonna snap and go, "Show yourself!"
I'm just sorry. We should be quiet.
Let's continue on.
Okay.
But let's stay very observant of our surroundings.
Okay.
Perhaps each of us could focus on a different direction, so that no matter what direction it may come from, someone will notice it.
Should we go back to back?
Yes.
That might be too obvious though. Like we don't want them to know that we know.
Okay.
But even though we know, we can't let on that we do.
Okay. Okay. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. I like that. All right. I'm gonna have everyone roll in like one more perception check, and this will be the continuous perception check going forward. As you're all actively looking for whatever it is that might be out there.
18.
Oh, crooked.
18.
Oh, natural 20.
Nice. Wow, we did that like spot on. And I did the little confetti thing.
Yeah.
So as you like continue walking, and you go a decent distance. You actually get so high up that you can look down from the slope, and you can see the river that you were all crossed, and then were potentially going to go parallel with. As you look down, Eldrin, you see two red eyes looking at you on the south side, east from where you came, and they're just steadily looking
what
at you.
What direction is that in relation to the direction we're headed?
Right now you're heading southwest. Sorry, northwest. And this is southwest of where you're at. So from behind you.
Wait, I thought we were headed southwest.
My bad. You're heading southwest. This is southeast.
Okay.
The map I'm looking at is backwards from like traditional north and west and whatnot.
Yeah. No, that would throw me.
I don't know why they did that. Fucking Hasbro. Wizards of the Coast. So you all continue. Oh, go ahead.
Are you guys seeing this?
What? What do you see? Where? And she's like, grabbing your arm as she's saying this. What do you see?
South. Be cold. Southeast. I see red eyes.
God. And she like stiffly turns her whole body to like look that way nonchalantly. Do the rest of you look as well?
Yes.
Yes.
As you do, you go to look, you can see these two unmoving red eyes that are looking at you. They're probably 4 feet off the ground.
I'm going to say 4 feet away from us.
I
think we see more than red eyes.
It's just right there. Oh, man, that'd be awesome. Just all of a sudden you hear this voice. Hey, how's it going? In the trees, southeast of where you're standing. And even though you're all four clearly looking at the eyes, it hasn't moved, hasn't even blinked. What do you do?
Is that tree people? Is that druids? What is this?
You don't... No, I don't think tree people have red eyes. They're just weird backwoods hillbillies and stuff that
Do they
yell.
do they smoke pipes?
I'm sure. I mean, to be fair, most people in Barovia smoke pipe. I smoke a pipe.
I mean
This one's different, like an alchemy pipe.
I mean, that'll do it.
I mean, when I was younger, I stole some halfling leaf from my dad, the burgomaster. I still got some. You guys want to try it sometime? But...
Definitely.
Let's wait until we get away from the tree people druid.
Fair. I don't think those are tree people. I'm kind of freaking out right now, to be honest with you.
Should we try to flank it? I could walk straight up, and you two could go to either side. Try to get closer, and get a better view.
We do all three have night vision, huh?
We do.
You do. It's during the day right now. The dark vision.
I forgot that it was during the day.
Yeah, it's like 1 o'clock by this time. Even though it's like gray and darkish, it's it's not like bright sunlight. But yeah.
How much further are we until we get to the town that we're going to?
You look at my map that I have. So you guys are there.
I thought you said you didn't have a map.
That was the DM. I mean, from what I could tell, another good 2 to 3 hours before we get to the bridge. That's a guess. It could be less, but it's at least an hour.
That's a while.
We can go back to back.
Why? I don't know. I don't. You're.
I've heard adventurers talking at the Blood on the Vine Tavern. Like when they were surrounded, they went back to back, and it was
I don't
like,
think you've ever left your street.
I don't. It's been a long time, to be honest with you. This is all new to me. Speaking of which, do you guys have a weapon I could use, perchance?
You can borrow my rapier.
God, you're so sweet. Thank you, Strafaria. You hand her the rapier, and she takes it in her left hand, but she has it like upside down, like the pommel is upward. Thank you. I'll make sure to use this wisely. All right.
I'll fix it in her hand. It goes this way.
That was a Barovian technique, but fine. I'll handle it this way.
Well, I just want to be sure.
All right. So are we continuing? Are we gonna rush that thing?
Let's keep it consistent. Let's take it to a vote. I say we try to keep going and get away from this area. What do you all think?
I'm fine with that, as long as we keep an eye out and don't get ambushed.
Yes, exactly.
Stay alert.
Maybe we should like assign one person to keep an eye on those eyes. Eldrin, you seem to found it first. Maybe you should be the one to kind of stay on it.
Well, I believe we're each signed to a certain direction, kind of straight, back, left, and right. So whatever direction those are sounds like right.
Yes,
I guess
that would be correct.
I'll continue to look in that direction.
Okay. You all continue forward up the hill. As you do it, this like actively keeping an eye on the eyes, the red eyes that are staring at you. It slows you down a little bit for sure. You keep going, and by now Ireena is not regaling you all with the stories of her childhood when she, stole wine or stole halfling leaf. She's kind of freaked out by this time and is fairly silent. She's almost clinging to Strafaria as you all continue. The road sort of like winds as you go another hour or so, and it zigzags, hooks back. It feels like you're now heading the opposite direction you came, and then as it starts to slope downward, you can see it veering the other way, heading back toward the river, but going more southwest. As you continue walking, Eldrin, the eyes are following you, and you can see it like stops behind a tree. You can tell it is definitely behind a certain tree, and it is not popped out.
Like I can't see it anymore?
You cannot see it anymore.
And I can see the tree pretty well?
Oh, yeah. But behind the tree, it's like darkness.
Behind the tree is there?
Correct. Just right behind the tree, because the trees are so closely together that you can see that there's trees back there, but the tree that these eyes went behind, right behind it is just like darkness. That's how densely close together they are.
Okay.
Are you all continuing forward?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're all continuing
Cautiously.
forward. Eldrin can say something, or he can continue forward.
I mean, I might be misunderstanding what you're saying, but I don't feel like I need to.
Okay.
I might just be missing something, but we'll find out.
So you all keep walking, and are you keeping an eye on that direction though? Okay.
Yeah.
You keep going, and another hour passes, and you get, as the road's like sloping downward, you get to what looks like the mere copy of the bridge that you first crossed after you left Barovia, and you're now at the same river, but more southwest, heading toward your final destination, Vallaki. As you get closer and closer, the trees start to get more spread out, not as densely close together, and you cross the bridge, and as you do, just double check one thing real quick. There's obviously a fucking million things here. You see, just west of the bridge, and you hear it, is these loud falls, like a waterfall. You follow the river to the base of like a canyon as it like sloped downward, and at the far end of which a great waterfall spills into this pool, billowing forth clouds of cold mist. And there's the great stone bridge that you're on spans the canyon and over the bridge itself. So you go across this bridge, and then you head a little more the direction, the southwest that you're heading, and it comes to another split in the road.
Can't catch a break with these forks.
As you get to this break in the road, you see one direction's heading east, the other is continuing west, like more northwest actually. And then there is the gates, which is very similar to the gates of Barovia that you guys came into originally. Not the gates of Barovia, the village, but the gates of the area itself, at the outskirts of the mist. Ireena, who is now kind of freaking out body language-wise, she is very tense, very stiff. Strafaria, she's like not hooking her arm around your arm. She's like fingers clasping your hand and very tightly grabbing them. As you look, all of you look off to the right, and you see this lone black carriage.
Is it moving towards us?
No, it's just sitting there.
On the road or off the road?
Off the road, heading east in that road direction, heading right, if you will.
Not heading anywhere, it stopped.
I'm saying the road itself is heading east, you bitch.
Is it a two-way road?
First, I'm going to kind of console Ireena and tell her that it's going to be okay. You're with us. You're safe. And then I'm going to look to all three of them and say, well, should we see what's in the wagon?
Should certainly approach with caution. I believe we have to pass it regardless, so let's investigate carefully as we move past.
This does stink of a trap, so I definitely agree about being cautious.
Mm-hmm.
So, as you get closer to this carriage, this black carriage, you see Ireena getting more and more kind of like tense, Strafaria, and then parked at the fork in the road, pointing east, is this large black carriage drawn by two black horses. The horses snort puffs of steamy breath into the chill mountain air. The side door of the carriage is closed. But as the horses turn to look at you, they have these dark red eyes.
How far off the ground?
A good 5 feet or so.
Hmm.
I don't like the looks of this.
Should we call out and see if anyone's in there, or should we?
If
What
they
do you
are,
guys-
they might be a...
I don't like the look of these. I'm getting this feeling like
Yeah.
my neck is hurting as soon as I got
What?
close.
Let's
What-
move on cautiously.
Yeah, because I wonder if we can kind of compare and contrast what there is to gain from us investigating this and what there is for us to lose. And perhaps I think that there may be more to lose than there is to gain.
Agreed.
On top of that, I'm almost certain that Eastern Road is the road to Castle Ravenloft.
And that's not where we're going?
That is where Strahd is.
Okay.
I don't want to go there.
No.
I don't even want
We're
to be
taking-
here right now, to be honest
We're
with
taking
you.
you to safety.
Okay.
So we'll continue on the route to safety.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And she's still holding onto your hand, Strafaria. You all continue heading more northwest now. You go through the gates, the large gates of Barovia, and as you do, you continue on. The road winds around, and after about an hour or so, you see this windmill, kind of beat up and raggedy. The actual the fans themselves are like missing. They're missing parts, as I just messed up the game. That's why you don't hit the back button on your mouse, people.
Has the back button ever been used on purpose?
I feel like it's just it's a trap. At least the music kept playing from where I left off. That's nice. And you get this feeling like this windmill looks familiar to you. You guys have seen it somewhere recently. Multiple times, too.
A windmill?
Yeah, this windmill in particular.
And is this something that we saw today or another day?
Definitely not today. If anyone wants to roll a history check, go ahead.
Well, I think I'm the most
Let's say.
historic.
I know I have
I like
amnesia
that.
and all, but I really don't remember this one.
10.
Okay.
Am I supposed to history check?
Yeah, if you
No.
like. Yeah, anyone can history check.
Okay.
8.
Okay.
3.
Okay. Yeah, none of you are really remembering where you saw this windmill, but there's just like nostalgia, you know? It's like something that you've seen before. And by this time, I have not addressed Lorgoth, but Lorgoth has been traveling with you this whole time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Who would
Oh, yeah.
who would have Lorgoth?
Me.
Okay. So fair.
Sorry. We share Lorgoth. He's all
I mean, I was the one who rescued him.
We
So-
bonded. We're attached. I put him in the bonds box.
So the cat has been kind of hanging out, like walking around Strafaria, and as Ireena has gotten even more, frantic and upset, Lorgoth is like really, giving Ireena attention, kind of help calming her down, as Lorgoth is weirdly aware of people's feelings, it feels like. But as you all get to this windmill, Lorgoth is not like this place at all. Kind of like rears up and
I trust animals more than I trust most people.
Perhaps we should have the cat at the front of the.
Ireena
crew.
chimes in. I don't want anything to happen to that cat. Although the name Lorgoth is kind of cute. Where'd you get that name from?
I named it after the terrifying beast we slayed. After I saved the cat.
You
Named it
saved
after
the
a
cat
beast?
from.
That's pretty metal. It's pretty cool.
We all saved the cat.
I kind of figured.
Yes, some,
I could tell
some
you.
in more literal ways than others, but yes.
Well, either way, I'm glad all three of you saved little Lorgoth here. But I don't like the look of this windmill. I don't think we should go near it.
Same.
Fine with this assessment.
We're pretty close to Vallaki, to be honest with you. So I think if we just continue on. Have we seen those eyes, Eldrin?
Not that I know of.
I'm going to keep your natural 20, as that's been the roll that you rolled. You kind of quickly look around, and as you do, you do not see those eyes. Should we get going then?
Let's continue.
Yeah.
Yes.
Get out of here. Away from that as fast as we can.
Yeah, can we get past this and maybe have a quick snack or something? I'm getting a little hungry.
Definitely.
You're gonna continue walking. The road goes along the edge of a bit of forest, really dense forest, and you hear all kinds of like frogs and small creatures and animals running along in there, but you don't see them. And as the road goes northeast, it kind of hooks back west. And as it hooks back west, you get the first view of this massive lake that is just north of you. And as you do, at the foot of this massive mountain, nestled in the misty forest, is a large lake. The water is perfectly still and dark, reflecting the black-gray clouds overhead like a monstrous mirror. Pulled up along the south shore are 3 small rowboats you can see in the distance. And everyone roll me a perception check.
Ooh. 5.
17.
There we go.
Strafaria, in the middle of the lake, you're like getting closer. You pick it up first. There is a lone small rowboat with, looks like one person with a fishing pole in their hand, and it looks like they're fishing. And as you get closer, you look west, and you see another village of some kind that is bordered. It has, large walls that seem to protect it. As you go to approach, you can see that the walls surround this village completely.
Do we know what the village is called yet?
Ireena, who, as she gets sight of the village, she first points out and says, "That's Lake Zorovich right there, named after the Strahd's family." But the village straight ahead, that's Vallaki. We're there. We're almost there. We should probably eat, though. I want to eat before we get in there. Oh wow, I hadn't even thought about this. There's some bad people in here. We're gonna want our strength.
What have you led us into? I thought we were bringing you to safety.
Well, I'm just saying, Vallaki is a safer town than Barovia for sure. It's further away from Strahd, and it is way more protected and fortified. But there's one person, and as she says this, Strafaria, she's like grabbing your hand tighter, kind of trembling. There's one person for sure that if we see him, please don't leave me alone with him, okay?
Who is it?
His name is Isaac Strazzini. He's the burgomaster's right-hand man. He's a cruel, evil, vindictive person who would kill anyone to get what he wants. And strangely enough, just like Strahd, seems to want me. I don't know. Anytime I see him, I get kind of sick. My stomach. But we're just going to avoid him. As long as the burgomaster isn't around. He's always with the burgomaster. We'll just stay away from them. They all have this, sort of happy outlook on life. So it should be a nice, peaceful experience. Just we need to stay away from that man.
Well,
Okay.
I think with the three of us being not very familiar with this area or the people within it, I think if we are to leave you here in safety, you're going to be the one who's going to have to define what that safety looks like. And
Well, the church, the pastor there is a safe haven for any outsider.
Yes.
And there's sanctuary that is kept. So that's going to be the place that we're going to try to go to.
Okay.
Not even Strahd can step foot in that church. It's protected by something. I actually don't know, to be honest with you, but it's stood for many years.
Well, shall we get Irene to the church?
Sounds good.
She seemed to want to eat first.
Just
You
like a
wanna do
quick
that?
snack. I got these sandwiches, these mutton sandwiches. If you're
I'll
all,
get a sandwich. Irene, what was this town called again?
Vallaki. That's Vallaki. Vallaki.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And honestly, thank you so much, Strafaria, for being there and supporting me. All of you. But thank you for having a strong hand to lean on.
You're most welcome. Got enough sandwiches for
I mean, this backpack
a
is just
giant thing.
sandwiches. To be honest with you, that's all I brought. And some clothing, of course, but
hell yeah.
So she pulls
Yeah,
out
yeah.
sandwiches. And they're okay.
I'm actually I don't know if this has come up before, but I'm actually a vegetarian, so I
Oof.
bars I will be eating.
Vegetarian. Oh, I think Phil's freezing or something.
I'm just stoic.
Stoked. It's like catching up. That was weird.
Yeah, you're like
Yeah, I think it's good now. I don't have anything. I actually just have bread itself. If you'd like to.
Oh, I don't leave my well-being into the hands of others, so I have plenty of rations for myself.
I respect that.
But thank
Okay.
you.
No, you're very welcome. I figured you're all risking yourselves with evil red eyes and who knows what with Strahd and everything. So I want to at least bring some food.
mouthful of one stuffed sandwich. I'll go all purpose.
Delicious sandwich.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I did it again. As you all finished up your sandwiches and continue on going parallel along with the lake itself, you get closer and closer to the village of Vallaki. The walls themselves are like 20 feet high in the above the ground. Let's see here. Let me just grab that. Okay. As you get closer, you can see some like merchant with a wagon heading into the town as well, just ahead of you a little bit. Grab this. There's so much information in this. This is so crazy.
So I felt reading the like little beginner one, so I can imagine like a real campaign.
As you get closer and closer to the gates, you see there's like armed guards actually up on the gates themselves, and they call out to the merchant who's ahead of you. There's some brief conversation. The gates open up. These like massive wooden gates open up, and the person's let in. Before you can get to the gates, they shut again already. Ireena looks to the three of you and says, "Let me do the talking. Should just let us in, no problem." Being the burgomaster's daughter, they obviously don't know that he is no longer living, but I should just get us in. I know the burgomaster of this area definitely thinks highly of my father, so it shouldn't be a problem. As you all four walk up to the gate, you hear this woman kind of call out, "Who's there? Who is entering Vallaki?" And Ireena says, I, Ireena Kolnia, the burgomaster's daughter of Barovia. I'm here on business." And you hear some like talking behind the gate. Takes a couple of moments. You can see Ireena is kind of sweating a little bit. And as the first person comes back over the gate, says, "Enter. Be well." And then the gates open up for the four of you to enter. And she goes, "Okay, see, told you. Wasn't going to be that big of a deal."
Cool.
You enter into the town, and as you do, you can instantly tell this is a bigger town than Barovia. The streets are filled with more people. They're actually out and about. They're not like hiding as they're like running across the street. They're going about their day, maybe not in the most like joyful, happy singing, musical sort of sense. But they seem content in their lives as they're carrying produce to market, or, you know, a mother is bringing their children to some place. This town seems to be relatively peaceful as you first walk in.
I'm gonna
Go ahead.
I'm gonna turn to these guys and everyone and say, "This is a relief to be in this town after the trek in the town before."
I could understand that. Barovia is not the greatest place, to be honest with you. But there could be worse places.
I mean, it seems like around here we grade on our curve.
Probably fair. As you get closer and closer into town, as you're trying to head to the church, Ireena says the church is on the other side of town, so we're gonna have to go across this whole place. But you see just to the right of you as you first walk in, you see this large like opened area, and it's this large stockyard that has several locked sheds along its outer area, and lies adjacent to a roomy warehouse. And there's a wooden sign that hangs above the gates. It says Asterisk Stockyard. And give me a perception check real quick, everyone.
Yeah.
Ooh, 20. Not unnatural, but still 20.
Some type. I never sneezed. I never fucking sneezed. It never came.
I think you're gonna die.
I think that's true.
Yeah.
I'd be super dead if that were the case. I literally, like, at least once a day, lose a sneeze, and it's always a tragedy.
I think they said it takes like 9 hours off your life.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I'm done.
I didn't
9.
hear you. 20, and then would you get Stropharia and Eldrin?
I got a 9.
6.
Okay. Bakrog sees parked at the south end of the stockyard is the sturdy carnival wagon. It's this colorful paint is like peeling off of it, and faded lettering on its side spells out the words Rictavio's Carnival of Wonders. And there's this massive padlock that secures the back door of it. And as you continue into town, that's where we're going to finish tonight's session. We're going to start up there next week. I want to thank everyone. What's up, Cool Chris 9? Thank you for chatting. We always love first-time chatters. Sorry, I didn't notice that. I was trying to tell this story that we're living in. But thank you for hanging out with us, Cool Chris 9. Hit that follow button if you haven't. Really appreciate it. It is absolutely free. And you have our notifications when we go live to continue the story. And I'm sure you'll want to continue it, because this next session's got to be a good one. As Vallaki it's a wild town. It's honestly really cool. So we're gonna pick up there next week. I want to thank the players. Awesome job, really getting into the role playing. I feel like every one of you has just like continued the upward trend of figuring out who your character is, your motives, and what they would do in a certain situation. Honestly, really cool to see, and I can't wait to experience this campaign fully with all of you. With that, let's go ahead and raid, because I feel like that is something that I should do. I always forget about, because I forget. That's just something I do. Who is live right now?
I don't know if you follow Bear Claymore, but he's live.
Yeah, I do follow Bear Claymore.
He's a super nice dude.
Playing Magic right now, it looks like.
Playing CDH and everything.
Ooh, nice. Let's see here. So we're going to raid them. Please flood their chat with our not like this emotes. It's a reference, obviously, to the movie The Matrix. But yeah, we're gonna pick up next week. Please be patient with yourself and others. It's a simple thing you can do to make this world a better place to live in. And as always, try to stay hydrated. Thank you all for being here, and we will see you next week.
Goodbye. Goodbye. I still see you. It made my chat window that I have popped out go to his channel, but not the actual video.
Oh, really?
Might be weird because I have it popped out. That's probably why.
I can see the video, and then also on his screen it popped up like a graphic thing.
Yeah, there you go.
SuperBacaBros rated.
Who's he got? Oh, Priscilla. That is one of the people that I played that last CDH game with at Command Fest. That was really good.
Nice.
She lives in Ballard with her partner.
That's awesome.
And they're awesome, yeah. I was super stoked.
This is always so weird to see, like, Like, because I can't hear them. Oh, they put your.
Yeah, that little auto thing that he has set up is really cool.
Oh, that's cool. As soon as you chatted, it just like.
Yeah. It's like, boop, check them out. I don't know how you set that up, but it's cool.
Right on. All right. I'm gonna end the stream.
I'm possibly gonna just fall asleep right here at my computer desk.